Conversion, that will be his last actions of the game as Will Cargill makes his way into the pitch, the ever-experienced, ever-present fly half that if you need someone to control the game, he's certainly the man for the job. Pirates retain the kick though as they don't look to play any rugby in their 22. It's a short box kick from Rodri Davis though, but Will Butler finding himself on that touchline now, on the wing. With Elderkin working the centre, doesn't get his hands on the ball. Dan Frost had a sniff though, but touch judge gave him the heads up that he's probably not supposed to be doing that. It's Hartphury plays infield. It's a short for the short side, but Lennon, who's no longer on the pitch, Murick decides to go the same way. Another good bit of footwork there from Joshua Bragman though, who really is giving most of the go forward for the Hartphury team in this game so far. A lot of all the good stuff that has come from them has come through him. Hint of a forward pass there, but we're going to go back for a penalty.
Over the shoulder penalty on me.
Tom Duncan, the seatbelt tackle as we're calling it. As we'll have a look at, I believe it's that Kieran Knight sitting in the sin bin, the Biffa sin bin. To be fair, probably the comfiest seat in the house with the best view, isn't it?
Probably warmer than our seat.
Oh, the fridge.
He's just over the shoulder to seat penalty.
Something about this stand, it's always November here, isn't it? But a good kick there from Bragman, putting Hartphury in a strong attacking position here. As I said, Pirates haven't really had to defend them all so far, so if they can win clean ball on this line out, which they don't manage to do, but it's cleaned up well by Easy. But good jackling from the Pirates, sees that attacking opportunity sniffed out. Rodri Davis trying to get his hands on the ball.
Yeah, phenomenal body position there from Dan Frost as obviously the line-out broke up, so defence and attack weren't organised in terms of being able to get to that breakdown. He seized on it straight away, straight on the ball, low body position, wide stance, and a couple tried to budge in, but they were too late. He was already on it. A great turnover there and gives the chance for the Pirates to relieve the pressure.
On it like a car bonnet.
He wants 10.
We're just having a look at Cornwell. He won't be overly happy, I would imagine, with not necessarily the performance but the scoreline. There has been elements of positivity from this Hartphury team, but I think that from his perspective it might be too far and few between. Cornish Pirates really showing their clinicalness within the game. As I said, set piece is king in rugby in general, isn't it?
Yeah, and it'll probably be, as a coach in this situation, he's probably thinking, right, you know, let's not dwell too much on today. We will learn from it. From what strikes to me, it's a very young Hartphury team, and they've been probably given a bit of a set piece lesson. And it will be that, right, when we come down here next year, that doesn't happen again. And that's what they'll try and take away from this afternoon.
One thing you have demonstrated though is if they do, you know, get that set piece functioning, they've certainly got a backline and attacking format that can cause a lot of trouble, which was demonstrated when they're, you know, losing out just in the last kick of the game to Ampthill not 3 weeks ago. Obviously Ampthill came down and did the same to the Pirates, so they've got that ability. The Pirates are starting to show that continuity and consistency that the coaches have said that they've wanted in the last few weeks, which is the fundamentals of the set piece, isn't it? It's getting the right combinations and the right people knowing what each other are doing in order to work as a cohesive unit. It's a good word, cohesive. String of 2 penalties though for the Pirates means that they've eked their way up to the halfway line from their own try line without actually having to have the ball in play at all. Sneaky front throw there means the Pirates can attack down the middle. Lemalu adding himself to the fray with a big carry. Cargill puts the ball at the back. Elderkin opts to carry. Had a little bit of an impact in the game since he's been on in the centres, but well, just gets his timing wrong in that instance, and Rodri Davis forced to throw the ball forward. So after what was quite an energetic first kind of beginning second half, it's becoming a little bit stop-start, Murray.
Yeah, you can see Pirates possibly struggling a little bit with the change of scrum half. I know we talked that it may sort of play into Rodri's hands, the game situation where it is, but obviously takes a couple of more steps with the ball maybe, and tries to engage some people around the breakdown. Probably been caught with that a couple of times. Then obviously it's very hard for runners if they're used to just having the ball straight from the deck to get their timing for the run, and forward pass being snagged around the break time a couple of times. So that's something they want to clear up and have maybe a little bit better understanding of between who's playing in that key 9 role.
I mean, as much as it's not necessarily a spectator's heaven, it kind of suits the Pirates now. 52 points to 12 up, giving a strong performance in the set piece, and they're just going from one to the other. But this instance, though, Hartphury do get one-upmanship, as I believe it's Matty Jones looks to go quickly, makes an initial 10-15 metres. Hartphury looks to try and play a bit of front foot rugby. It's a top spin box. It's a strange option with no chasers down that short side, and an easy clearance there from Tommy Wyatt. But he decides to keep the ball in pitch. Simpson gathers, feeds it inside the bag when he puts a lovely low crossfield kick in. It's very sensible play and very good heads-up rugby there from Bragman.
Yeah, it's a great kick. I don't know, just looking over at one of the assistant coaches over in the dugout, called his name and sort of put his hands up, but no, they haven't gone from 50-60 metres at any point today, or looked like going from 50-60 metres, so I don't see they were going to there. Much better to take the space available to them and then try and get the ball back in an area where they can hurt the Pirates, like possibly now, I don't know.
Bit of sloppy play from the Pirates off the line out. Rodri Davis' pass not going card to hand, but it's well mucked away out again. They've said his name a fair few times in the second half since he's come on. There's another man, Dan Frost, with lovely little bit of NBA skills there from Cutmore and Frost linking up. And Frost straight back onto his feet. And for a big little man, he certainly punches above his weight as well. He's not just got the skill set, he's got that physicality as well that's needed to play at this level. So Pirates put a width on it now, but they go flat. Bulwell runs a hard line, and Cargill chooses the right option, but he looks for the offload and it doesn't go to hand. So Hartphury looking to take advantage of a broken defensive line. King slams the door shut on James Williams. So they'll go down the short side. Ash Challenger looking to make an impact on this game off the bench. Big carry from the big man, Easy. Pirates defence playing very close to that offside line, but Will Butler leading the line from the outside. Ball goes to the top, but again they opt it. Pirates looking for that hold-up tackle. The ref not calling it as quick as he has in the past, but Hartphury managed to work the way to the deck. Luke Stratford stepping at first receiver and tipping it on to the big forward carrier.
No.
James Williams puts ball, sees a bit of space, gets a favourable bounce. Oh, but looks for the offload, goes backwards, and it's Robbie Smith on the support line. So, not looking like they're going from 60 metres, and then they go from 60 metres, Murray.
Trying to think what to say back to that. Yeah, maybe he should have tried to go from 60 metres last time when he kicked it as well.
Good heads-up rugby there from James Williams, though. Gets the ball, there's space in behind.
Yeah, lucky bounce, or favourable bounce, we won't go lucky, yeah, favourable bounce. He did really well actually, try and keep it alive here when he dropped it the first time, keep it alive for the ongoing support of Smith flooding through, supporting the ball, and yeah.
Good bit of skill from that one-handed tap as well though, especially under pressure as well, to get that right. It's that's a bit of talent right there for you. So, coming up to 70 minutes played, Cornish Pirates leading 52 points to 19, 8 tries to 3, but there's 1 minute left on the sin bin, so I mean that's even more impressive. Hartphury have scored with a man down as well, so Pirates will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, and 10 minutes to play, it gives them, it gives them a bonus point to play for now, so it gives them something to play for the rest of this game, and probably show that endeavour that we've just seen from that try. Whether that will be successful for them or play into the Pirates' hands, gives us a little subplot for the last 10.
I mean, every point will count here when it comes to league positioning at the end of the season. Ampthill obviously are down there with them, both on 11 points. They're playing Saracens tomorrow, so it's a tough ask for Ampthill looking to pick up a bonus point, but I'm sure they'll go out there. They've shown that they can mix it with the best of them. for Hartphury, showing some real ambition now as they go into that wide channel, throwing it a little bit loosely, but very well cleaned up, and there's a bit of space there for them. But they get eventually brought down on their 22. Easy as Ode, working hard now as he's starting to build himself into this game. But James Williams says that's enough rugby in my 22 and puts a thunderous kick down. But again, Tommy White's hands have been exceptional today as he brings it back into the half and throws it backdoor kind of pass to Cargill, foods it to fly half in the making, Dan Frost. Cargill shapes the kick but sees a bit of space. Tommy White straight through the middle of the defence. Danny Catmore stepping up at scrum half now. The names we're saying, showing that the Pirates are playing with a little bit of fluidity now as everyone's a half-back, everyone's a first receiver, the kind of things that you're coached generically as a kid these days. And huge fend there. Who was that? Tommy White. Again, really having a strong finish to this game. Getting his hands on the ball. It's Pirates a bit of a sloppy breakdown. It's slowed down, but eventually Roger Davis gets his hands on the ball. He asks for the penalty, takes it quickly. And he scored it, but the ref's taking us back for...
Yeah, no problem, thank you.
What are we going back for? Just waiting for an explanation for the ref, that's why he stopped.
Just step for me 1 second, gents. Okay, are you happy that everything's done? Yeah. One black. Okay, one black, change. Just step. One black, change. All done. So you telling me that... Okay, just wait 1 second. No, stop. Skate 8.
He's in no rush to explain. We'll get there.
Trying to think of a reason.
I'm happy with the penalty for side entry against their 10. Your 5 come in and start patting a player on the head and swearing at him. I'm going to reverse the penalty.
So he's reversed the penalty for a pat to the head and some vulgar language. To be fair, we talk about the values of the game.
Yeah, fair play, I've got no problem with that. Good on him.
No, I'm going to go with that.
Nothing more infuriating if you're a rugby player, you make a mistake or do something wrong and you have someone from the other team come and rub your edge.
16, stop!
Especially if you're bald as well, you get that slapping noise.
I wouldn't know.
Decent locks on you.
Coming off next week?
Grade 1?
Absolutely not, no.
Okay.
The thing is, the hair you got at the moment, Mario, I mean, obviously people on the live stream don't know, but if you trim that back too short, it takes away from the hips. So all of a sudden, your hourglass figure will shine.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it.
Yeah. So Hartphury win the line out and they go down the guts of it through James Williams. Really looking to play with some intent, but the Pirates defence are up to task so far. Having just 2 at the back as opposed to the expected 3 when a team's running out, and the extra number tells.
Look, if you're going to take it clearly in front, I'm not going to let you go. Holding on.
So, again, Pirates not able to take the quick tap.
Look to me, he took that from the exact position where he stole the ball from. He didn't take a step forward, didn't even take a step back, didn't need to, but that's two potential quick taps the Pirates have missed out on. Agree with the first one.
I mean, in my opinion, though, when I find it infuriating, it defines pedantic when
we're talking half a foot.
you're given it, and the ref says no, it's not taken for the mark, but he hasn't given the mark, and you're within a foot. Just let it go, let the game play, let the game flow, and it just—it's like when you get advantage of a scrum and he doesn't play it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those moments. But ultimately, the Pirates go back to type. They kick it to the corner, and they built the maul. Roger Davis is floating down that short side though as Hartphury is starting to make a mess of it. The ball is brought to down and it's not playable. Hartphury have actually turned it but illegally. So Pirates will have the option now. Are they going to tap and go or are they going to go for the corner? Paddy Ryan with his new haircut.
Just time off. Take your time.
Oh, Dan Frost down.
16. I know you can't do
Looking in a little bit of discomfort there, would you say? It's not looking good. Take this time to announce, obviously, the man of the match for this round 9 of the Ring King Championship goes to Hayden King Fair shout, I think, would you say?
I don't know.
No,
You look about players that have had impact on this game.
You say that, and I'm not going to disagree with you, but the fundamentals of this game has been around the set piece, and you know, we look at the number one. I'm going to say is loose head is the cornerstone of line-out calling and the scrum, which is where the majority of the points have come from.
Not convinced on line out.
1.5.
Impact on this game, I think Dan Frost's been absolutely phenomenal since he came on. I know he came on early,
You
but
just can't give it to him every week, though, Murray.
you can. If you're the best player on the pitch, you can.
Guys, are we happy, yeah?
But good on Hayden. Obviously, he's done his role exceptionally well. Very popular. He's heard by the reaction from his teammates. Very popular choice that. But I think Dan Frost's been absolutely phenomenal since he's come on. You look at every carry, every moment in the game, every break, it comes from him.
Rumours are Alan Paver chose man of the match.
That explains so much.
Same position, same hairline, same height. So,
Not straight.
Pirates go to the back, but the Murray's opted man of the match is unable to throw it straight, and we'll go back to an option to Hartphury with an opportunity to get away from their own try line.
2. Are you okay? You sure?
Game breaking up a little bit as we enter into the dying embers of this contest.
Time's off. Time is off. Right.
Cornish Pirates 52, Hartphury 19. I would say, again,
Guy, I'm not
as
taking
much
the
as
risk. Guy,
it's
carry
not
on
fair on
15.
Hartphury, I'd say that's a fair reflection of how the game has gone in regards to set-piece dominance.
I'm not taking the risk, okay?
Ref not happy with Dan Frost. Obviously, player welfare is of absolute importance these
Time is
days.
off. It's a minute still to go. Time was off last. This is the top stoppage.
Obviously, concussion is a big thing in rugby these days, and safety is first and absolute paramount. So we could be looking at a change here to Dan Frost. I believe I heard the ref say there's a minute left to play.
Yeah, he definitely said a minute on something. Obviously, our clock is saying 74, so we'll have to see if we get to 76 or not.
Okay, let's go, guys.
So, scrum. Dan Frost remains on the pitch.
Okay, time's now on.
Obviously, the medical team are absolute top drawer at this level of rugby, and they're the experts.
Set.
So, it's a screen scrum from Hartphury. Strong carry from Matt Jones. As they look to play rugby outside the 22. Pirates not completed the breakdown now, keeping numbers on feet.
Throw away. You've obstructed the play.
But tackle are rolling north to south, north to north south rather than east to west, I believe is the saying. Bragman wanting to play with tempo. He's looking around and no one's stepping up though. So James Williams, get that right, pumps it deep, and they'll have a platform to launch off towards their own 10-metre line.
That will be last play.
So we are on last play though.
Last play.
So Cornish Pirates are coming away with a victory, but Hartphury is still in this for the bonus point. I'll be having a word with the producer afterwards about the running clock,
Onside.
but I'm sure he's done his absolute best.
Whoa!
I mean, he's blaming the ref now, but we won't go into that as the game looks to die out. And Hartphury are throwing everything into it now as they go down the short side. It's a strong carry, but Pirates not competing at the breakdown, keeping numbers on feet with a strong defensive line. They're eking forward a yard at a time. Bragman sees a gap and puts some lovely snifty little footwork in, leaving Danny Cutmore in particular stuck in the sand. So more advantage being played, so they'll take the penalty. They're going to tap and go. They are.
He started 10, play on.
Pirates read it well, they started 10, but easy goes straight through the middle. It's a bit of a compete on the floor, but ultimately it's well cleaned out.
Okay, penalty advantage, 5-way tackle.
So another advantage to Hartphury now, really playing with some momentum. Late tackle.
Come.
So I believe it was
So we've got
Danny Cutmore possibly?
penalty, any more players leave the field. No, thank you.
last morning there for the Pirates. I mean, I don't think Tom Duncan will be overly concerned. Last play of the game. 52 points, 19 up, that there's a threat of a sin bin. But it will give Hartphury that opportunity. Really showing a bit of energy. Unfortunately, albeit a little bit too late in regards to the result of the game, but they are playing for that bonus point, and as I said, as we mentioned before, that bonus point can mean a fair bit in regards to their final standings at the end of the season, with it being very tight down that half of the table.
Yeah, I think the scoreline is a fair reflection of the game, and I also think if Hartphury are able to find a way to get down the field and score a try, they would also be deserved of that bonus point.
So again, it's our man James Williams taking the kicking duties for touch. Obviously we're in last play. The ref said that we've got 3 penalties that have extended the play. Finally our clock on the old scoreboard's looking a little bit more realistic, which is a good thing. But Pirates defend this ball now, but Hartphury sheared down that short side, but it gets close to the touchline, but they've done well to keep the ball in field as they start to venture towards the Pirates' 22-metre line. An example as why prop should never play scrum half, but the ball is eventually getting to that wide channel. Matt Jones feeds James Williams, but he didn't fancy that pass with the Pirates defence getting off that line. Joe Howard brought to deck as they work around that corner. Smith goes between 2 defenders as they wake their way into the 22. George Simpson with the pick and go again, eking ever so much closer. Matty Jones looking to pick up the tempo. Easy as Ode stepping up at carrier. Lovely flat pass from Hartphury, and we're really getting a bit of momentum now as they're 5 minutes off the line. Penalty advantage, so it's a free ball. Strong handoff from Sam Goatley, and they get the try, and they get the bonus point. They'll be happy with that. And to be fair, the way they attacked in that last kind of the adventure they showed there, I think they deserve that.
Yeah, fair play. Like we said, we mentioned it a little bit ago. If they are lucky enough or good enough to get their way down the field and score a try, then fair play to them. They deserve that bonus point, and I think they'll be hugely. Obviously, the game had gone. It's a little easier to play that way once the game is gone. But fair play to them. The last sort of 10-15 minutes, they've showed a real endeavour. They showed some fight. They showed some energy, and but yeah, well deserved a point.
It's disappointing though that sometimes with teams like this, is what their coach was talking about, is the consistency. They can do it. They did it in the first half, in the first 5 minutes. They've done it in the last half, in the last 5 minutes. It's just that 70 minutes in between they've got to get right. They've got the weapons. They're capable of doing it. But there was a lot of times in that game where they didn't look like they wanted it.
And they all came around set piece.
That's why Hayden King got the man of the match, I guess.
All right, it all came around line out.
So, last kick of the championship season down at the Mene. It's a decent kick, which sees the final whistle blow, with the Cornish Pirates winning this contest 52 points to 24. Murray, a quick synopsis of the game?
Yeah, like we said, well-deserved bonus point for Hartphury in the end, but the result was never really in doubt after that sort of Pirates interception, going 14-5 up, and they managed to march away with some dominance, some good set piece, some clinicalness 5 minutes from the line, and fair play to Hartphury for coming out and showing a little bit of fight and energy in that last 20 minutes to get a deserving point from the game.
I think of the 2 coaches that I spoke to at the beginning, the Pirates will be obviously most happier, but not just on the scoreline, but they wanted consistency, they wanted stability in that set piece, and that is effectively what won in the game. Hartphury, more of the same for them, unfortunately. They've shown that in glimpses. They've got the ability to do something special and to really challenge the top half teams, but it's just the other side of the coin, the defensive attributes, where they weren't able to step up today. In particular, like you said, the set piece cost them a lot of territory, which, the Pirates, fair play to them, took advantage of. But thoroughly enjoyable game to watch it from my eyes, and I'm starting to appreciate the finer, darker arts of the game this season.
Yeah, they've been highlighted, haven't they? Would like to say whether that is without the emotion of crowds and whatnot, but it has been very much a season of the small things, of the kick chase, of the
attrition,
of the kick battle, of methodology of up the pitch and different ways that teams play. But yeah, it has been that sort of season.
So just going to have a quick look through the highlights. Obviously, some sharp work here for the. I believe this is the first try in the second half. some sharp work there from Lennon and Joshua Bragman, who had a very good game, read it well and was on his shoulder early doors and just puts a good step in. And Danny Cutmore, again, will be disappointed. This is a back on forward there, and dots over. Again, Pirates going back to type, and these are the areas of the game that Hartphury disappointed. Because for me, that's just, as a coach, I'll be thinking that's a bit soft. They've shown that they can defend the wide channels, but not at the expense of defending those the easy channels around the breakdown, which is, you know, where rugby's ever more progressing towards going with the power games that we see from the teams like Exeter, which obviously filters down through the leagues.
Yeah, it just happened a little too often with a little bit too much ease, didn't it?
Again, another example of what we're talking about. For me, that's a pick and go. There should be a guy on his outside shoulder, but I mean, well, fair play to the Pirates. They've identified it, and it's also, I mean, you look at the latch work there, gets them that yard off the line, and then you've got, I believe, is it Tom Duncan marshalling the troops. Bulwell on his shoulder with Danny Cutmore and our man of the match Hayden King firing in behind, but it's a simple try that Hartphury were disappointed with.
You could say Hartpury's tries were more entertaining to watch, couldn't you?
No, absolutely, and here's an example of it. Good heads-up rugby, there's space in behind, gets a fortunate bounce, but I was always told that luck always happens more when you've trained for it, and very good support there from Robbie Smith to go over. And obviously, we look at this last try, what we're not seeing this highlight is the 60 metres of build-up play and the consistent kind of tap and goes and patience in attack. So fair play to Hartphury. They've done well to get that bonus point. It was a well-earned bonus point, but ultimately the victory was well earned from the Pirates, off the back of a very strong foundation, which is very much what their game plan is based off, and what has possibly been missing in weeks, kind of, you know, those mid-weeks during the season, in crucial times. But I just thought, obviously, this will be the last thing we're presenting on. So it's, you know, I've enjoyed my time with you, Murray. But before we go, we will have a roundup of the fixtures. Interesting, Jersey Reds never really managed to close that deficit. Coventry coming away with what I would consider, I would call it not a surprise victory, but the scoreline is surprising. Nottingham and Richmond again. Nottingham showing that their 10th pot is securing a little bit further than Richmond's. And then we look at the Cornish Pirates score. That's a huge 5 points to them though, and ultimately their aim now is that third spot. Doncaster have got a tough closing couple of rounds coming up. I think they've already got to play Ealing or Saracens. I think it's Ealing. So Pirates will be hoping they lose that and give them the opportunity. But I mean, for me, as I say, it's a big thank you for all you guys that have joined us, not just for today, but throughout the season. And obviously, every time you pay your kind of streaming fee, that helps the clubs out, which have gone through a very tough time at the moment. I particularly enjoyed myself. Obviously, you might not have enjoyed our commentary, but the rugby and show's been good. And obviously, for me, it's a massive thank you to Murray for joining me. And you know, it's been a blast, pal.
Thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.